For those who spent countless hours playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, there are some songs you just hear and think back to the game. So, here I am, doing everything I can to showcase a video on a set of coasters, one which was replaced by Superman. Yeah, that was the song for me, Superman by Goldfinger. Let's look at Tony Hawk's Big Spin. Spinning roller coasters go back a long way. At the start of the 20th century, one of the most popular roller coasters in the world were the Virginia Reels, side friction coasters designed by Henry Elmer Rail and named after his daughter, Virginia. The first appeared at none other than Coney Island in 1908. The tubs holding riders could freely spin on their chassis as they travelled around the track. The last Virginia Reel closed at Blackpool Pleasure Beach in 1982. It wouldn't be until the 90s when a new, more modern version would become popular. Multiple companies would create spinning coasters, including Zera, Mack, and Reversion, and later, Gerstlauer. Gerstlauer would offer two different versions of the spinning coaster, along with a custom option for parks to purchase. On March 15, 2004, the first Gerstlauer spinning coaster, Model 420, opened at the Mall of America as Timberland Twister, now called the Fairly Odd Coaster. It was quickly followed by a second, identical ride at Worlds of Fun in Kansas, called Spinning Dragons.
Introducing Spinning Dragons, a new roller coaster that spins while it moves up and down a twisty track, only at Worlds of Fun.
Advertised as a ride with a twist, the spinning coaster would combine the thrills and speed of a roller coaster with the experience of a carousel ride, providing fun for the whole family. Each car on the track would be able to spin freely, offering a different experience for riders every single ride. In this version, 4 passengers would face each other. Gerstlauer promoted this as an extra feature which enabled riders to have more fun as they could interact with each other. Each vehicle would feature a high-tech safety system and a motor to turn the car back to boarding position. Along with the 420 model, Gerstlauer would also offer multiple different versions. 1 year after Gerstlauer had opened their first spinning coasters, Six Flags would get their own versions, as they were looking for an attraction that would be exciting for all ages. This time at Six Flags New England, which would add 2 new rides in 2005, Typhoon, a water coaster, as well as a coaster themed after the chain's ambassador, Mr. Six's Pandemonium. The first coaster inspired by the fun-loving dance moves of Mr. Six. Pandemonium would let riders experience the moves of Mr. Six himself as it freely spun around the track. Right. It would be another, though just as agile man, that the next installation would be themed around, professional skateboarder Tony Hawk.
Literally, Pier 30 shook, and we felt the ground swell. I wasn't sure if it was an earthquake or somebody out there doing something special.
The skateboarding legend, the first to land the iconic 900, had become increasingly popular during the 2000s. After the huge success of the video games Tony Hawk Pro Skater in 1999 and its sequel the following year, his popularity was at an all-time high. It would now be the perfect time to get a Tony Hawk experience in a theme park. Tony Hawk had created the Boom Boom Huck Jam in 2002, a touring show of freestyle motocross, skateboarding, and BMX. The tour, which featured Tony Hawk himself, along with other professionals, took a travelling half-pipe and ramps around the country, and would be incredibly popular when it would stop at the Six Flags Park in 2006.
Tony Hawk at the Boom Boom Huck Jam, the 2-year deal with Six Flags. Tell me a little bit about what to expect today and tomorrow.
Basically, our tour consists of skateboarding, BMX, motocross, and it's a show format, so it's not like we're in competition. It's not we're not under scrutiny of judges or specific times for our routines. You know, it's more like we do some choreography. We do stuff where everyone's flying over and under each other. You know, there's 5 guys on the ramp at once. But there's also a freestyle element to it that you don't get to see on TV, where we're free to try whatever we want. If we fall, we can get up and try it again, and the crowd gets to see that perseverance. And I feel like you see better riding on our tour than you do in competition, for sure.
Tony Hawk had signed an agreement with Six Flags to bring his brand to the park. He would even get his own set of rides. Tony Hawk's Big Spin. In 2007, 2 brand new spinning coaster Model 420 rides would open around the US, themed to the skateboarder. Installed by the Ride Entertainment Group, who handles all of Gerstlauer's operations in North America. The first opened at Fiesta, Texas in March 2007 in the Fiesta Bay Boardwalk, which was also repainted and tidied up for the ride's new arrival. The second would be at St. Louis Six Flags, a park which had decided it needed to focus on smaller family thrills.
Our Six Flags family is excited to bring to St. Louis a great family roller coaster, Tony Hawk's Big Spin. By incorporating elements of skateboard ride, the Tony Hawk Big Spin ratchets up the thrill level in family entertainment in the St. Louis area. It ratchets it up enough that even dads like me will find themselves doing 360s and grinding some rails.
The St. Louis version opened on April 21st, 2007. Both identical rides will be painted black and red and designed to look like a giant skate park. The queue line would feature the history of the sport told through monitors, showing the highlights of action sports. On top will be a large spinning Tony Hawk.
How you doing? I'm Guy Fieri from the Food Network, Guy's Big Bite, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and Ultimate Recipe. And I'm here at Six Flags in Vallejo, and I just rode that bad boy. And it's the Tony Hawk Big Spin. And I gotta tell you, outrageous ride. We had a blast. Best part is going right up the top. As soon as you get to the top, you just do this free fall backwards into this crazy spin, and something worth checking out. It's got a real nice fluid motion to it.
1 year after these rides opened, another 2 parks would get Tony Hawk Big Spins, Over Texas and Discovery Kingdom. The Six Flags Over Texas roller coaster will replace the Wildcatter ride in the park's Boomtown section, opening on May 17, 2008. At Six Flags Over Texas, it will be the first new roller coaster in 7 years, since Titan had been added in 2001. These first 3 versions of the ride would last 1 minute 51 seconds through 1,351 feet or 411 meters of track. Each car had riders face each other so they could experience the thrills of skateboarding on the free spinning vehicles on what the park described as the ultimate skateboard run. Costing $6.5 million, the ride, which was well received at the first 2 parks, would expand the Tony Hawk thrills even further. The ride experience worked by having each car spin freely on a centralized kingpin surrounded by bearings. For more spin, you could place the heavy riders on one side and the lighter on the other. The ride would reach 52.5 feet before dropping 27 feet at speeds of 31 miles per hour, twisting throughout while spinning freely. Only the Fiesta Texas and the St. Louis versions had a portion of the track above a physical half pipe for theming. This did not come to the later 2 versions of the ride. Each ride would feature onboard ride footage that could even be purchased to take home. Tony Hawk's Big Spin was ideal for the whole family, as children over 42 inches tall could ride with an adult.
That, seriously, that was out of control.
Did you see a spinning rat?
Six Flags Discovery Kingdom's version was slightly different. It used the 400 version of the attraction, which is 48 feet or 15 meters shorter and had slightly less capacity. It was built on the site of the coaster Zonga. Sadly, in 2010, Six Flags was cancelling licensing deals, and Tony Hawk would be one to go as the company emerged from bankruptcy. In January of 2011, the Tony Hawk's Big Spin name and theming would be dropped, and any association to the skateboarder removed. At first, the coasters were just named Big Spin, before being fully rebranded as Pandemonium, just like their sister ride that started it all at the chain in New England. Sadly, that one had Mr. Six's name drop just 1 year after it had opened. Both Mr. Six and Tony Hawk no longer had roller coasters named after them. Luckily, Mr. Six never stopped dancing.
One flag. 6 flags, more fun.
As for Six Flags Discovery Kingdom's version, it will be removed after just 3 years and relocated to Six Flags Mexico as the Joker. Closing in January 2012, it reopened the following season with brand new theming and was repainted green in what is now likely the best themed of all the former Big Spin coasters. Replacing it at Discovery Kingdom will be Superman Ultimate Flight, a premier ride Skyrocket 2. It uses the exact same entrance that Tony Hawk used to sit on. In 2019, the park announced they would be adding a brand new still spinning roller coaster, this time made by Zamperla. Sidewinder Safari will be a standard twister coaster from the company and is now likely to open in 2021 at the park. A combination of animal exhibit and thrilling family coaster, this spinning world mouse is identical to the Raging Cajun at Six Flags America. Sadly, no Tony Hawk or even Mr. Six will be anywhere to be found.
Being constructed right now, only a couple weeks away to open the most colossal roller coaster in the history of roller coasters. Not so much because it goes higher, not even because it goes faster, but it does stuff you won't believe.
Today, remnants of the Tony Hawk time for the spinning coasters can still be seen, such as half-pipe theming. While Tony Hawk's and Six Flags said the ride would recreate the feeling of extreme sports, I will let you be the judge of that. This ride was described as rad, a fun, family coaster that most riders could experience that would take you into the world of skateboarding. At least it was intended to. As someone who cannot perform a 900, let alone a 180, I imagine the spin sensation was not quite the same. What do I know though? Maybe you did feel like you were performing the 900 yourself. I could never do one to prove Six Flags wrong anyway.
My priority has always been to be progressive. And if I'm remembered as being progressive or someone that broke limits, then that's how I'd rather approach it.
Tony Hawk expanded his brand so far that his name became the most recognized among young consumers of all US athletes. With the success of the video games, including the re-release of the first 2 classic games, amusement parks, he had another water ride named after him at Six Flags America called the Tony Hawk Halfpipe, retail and touring shows, his name has become a household brand. What did Tony Hawk think of the ride named after him? He states he rode it with his 83-year-old mother, they both loved it, and he said having a roller coaster named after you is pretty surreal. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Expedition Six Flags. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to join the expedition. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram for updates on upcoming episodes, and a special thank you to our Patreons for supporting the channel. We will see you next time.